If you're feeling confused about AI and ChatGPT, then this one single video is going to clear all your doubts. My name is Ansh Mehra and I train businesses on using AI and design. In fact, we've made multiple videos on prompt engineering, ChatGPT, Midjourney, and a lot more. But in 2024, things have now completely changed.
Today, we are launching a new model, GPT-4 Turbo.
We're announcing Copilot Studio.
What can we expect AI to do this year that it couldn't do last year?
GPT-2 couldn't do very much. GPT-3 could do more. GPT-4 could do a lot more. GPT-5 will be able to do a lot more.
Like, if I'm excited about GPT-5, what should I be excited about?
It's gonna be smarter.
This lecture is a complete masterclass on all the latest features inside ChatGPT, which includes building ChatGPT bots, latest use cases, along with detailed roadmaps that can help you plan your career. I gave this masterclass at the College of Engineering Pune, where we discussed how to use AI for growing faster and making more money. You'll find a free download link to my presentation in the description. Watch this video till the end because 3 of you will end up winning my favorite books. So without further ado, let's get started. Very recently, there was a new research that was done by Stanford University and Adobe, and it's called Act Anywhere. And this is a huge game changer. Before we get into ChatGPT, I just want to quickly share some very cool recent advancements that have been made in the world. इसमें होता क्या है कि they take an original video, let's just say this is a basic video of a swan in water. Step number 1, it would take out the swan and the duck, and that process is called segmentation. Basically, you cut off the background and you isolate the subject. Then you take the subject and give any background image, which is a new background image, completely different from the original footage. This algorithm can then animate the new background and make it look like this duck or this swan was always there. If you look closely, this is not just about creating text to video. This is not about basic background changes, because the new image is animating in relation to the movement of the segmented object. It is figuring out how the camera was moving when this original shot was recorded. It's animating everything on the side. And this is the level at which these algorithms are now evolving. This is the QR code in case you want to read more about this research. It's incredible the pace at which these things are going. And just click, don't scan, otherwise it'll just waste your time. And I would recommend you folks to now start going through research papers using ChatGPT. I'll tell you how to do that as well. For example, you open this URL and you feel like, oh, this is super confusing. Just copy the URL, go to ChatGPT 4, paste it. After the link, simply say, explain this to me as if I'm a 10-year-old. It will do a great job simplifying everything that is mentioned in the paper. Is that AI talking? कौन बोल रहा है? Okay, awesome. The second platform I wanted to show, it's called Cassette AI. Now this is absolutely crazy because now you can put in a prompt to create a background music and it will create sounds from scratch. अभी मेरे पास input नहीं, otherwise I would have shown you, but creators are using this to create podcast intros, channel intros. It is actually creating music on its own. And it's very interesting how robots are making art and humans are stuck in offices doing 9-to-5 jobs. When this entire game started, we thought we'll be the ones doing all the creative work. We will be the ones enjoying. But the truth is, it has completely reversed the game altogether. So the agenda for today is split into 3 modules. In module number 1, I'll give you a tour of the latest ChatGPT features. Some of these features are super new. Very few people are talking about them. Then I'll tell you how to plan your career in 2024. And in the last module, I'll give you a bunch of roadmaps and important reality checks so that you can take the right decisions. Let's start with module number 1. Let's figure out what all new things are there in the latest ChatGPT model. When you get the ChatGPT Pro, this is how it will look on the desktop. Okay? On the top left corner, you'll find a plus plan. You'll see that it's a Pro version, and you'll also see this option where you can select My GPTs. But please make sure you don't explore this on the free ChatGPT version, because to do everything I explained today, you need the plus plan, which is 1800 rupees per month. Cool? This entire session is not a masterclass on prompting. It is not a masterclass on how do you build great GPT bots. This entire session is just to give you a tour of the features. But I'll later on at the end of the video, I'll tell you how do you even use those features, where do you go to use those features in detail. So on the top left corner, you will now see this new option, which is called Explore GPTs. Now, what is this GPTs? Just assume that the word GPT is a fancy term for a customized ChatGPT, because ChatGPT by default was very generic, right? It barely knew about what you want, where are you from, what are your likes and preferences. So they have allowed you to create a customized version of a use, maybe a more relevant ChatGPT that really knows what you're looking for, so that you don't waste a lot of time training that basic ChatGPT. If I click on Explore GPTs, you'll find a long list. It is actually like an app store, a free app store, where you can get these GPTs for free. On the top, you'll have the featured section where it says Kayak. It is a GPT that helps you travel, pick out the right flights, your hotels and cars. The next one is Diagrams that helps you create flowcharts. Then we have a plugin that is launched by Canva that can help you find the right templates in case you're into social media design. The interesting part here is that very soon, your GPT can also be featured on this app store. And there was an announcement made that very, very soon, OpenAI will have revenue sharing, which means that if you create a GPT that is really, really cool, and if you create a GPT that is being used by a lot of people, OpenAI will start paying you for it if people spend more time on it. The revenue model is still not clear, but they will announce it in approximately 3 to 4 months. Now, I also created my own GPTs, and I'll show you how to do that as well. You need zero coding, zero technical knowledge. It is literally you figuring out what is the use case, what do you want, and what should the output look like. For example, here, the first GPT that I had created was on daily wisdom. So I literally just taught the GPT that every day I come to you, just give me a nice quote. The second one was a QA analyzer. Basically, I created an expert using AI that could help me analyze my UI, user interface. If I'm designing something, this bot will give me feedback on whatever I have designed. Then I created a copywriting coach. Because I create content, I write LinkedIn posts. This GPT was helping me improve my social media posts. So you can figure out that all of these use cases are very, very specific. And if you notice on the right side, you can see this option that says only me. The top two ones says anyone with a link, which basically means that I can create this GPT bot and share it with you. So I spend all my time creating it, but my parents or my friends or any of my colleagues can use this GPT for free. Now, let's figure out how do you create this. I'll just go back to the slide. You see that create a GPT button? If you click on that, this is the menu that opens up. How many of you have never seen this UI before? Whose first time? Okay, so almost like 50% of you have not seen this part of ChatGPT. The first step here is to click on create. Here, there's this thing called GPT Builder. Basically, it's an AI that will help you create your first GPT bot. So it is trying to understand what exactly would you like to make. And you have to speak very simple English. You can literally say, become a coach for my physics tuition. Become a coach for my copywriting skills. Become an intern for me that helps me come up with real ideas. It could be anything, basic, simple English. Not one of those complicated prompting techniques where you put a persona, do this, do that. Because the fun part is that this AI itself will ask you more questions. So if you say, I want you to become a software engineer, it will only ask you what language, what expertise, what niche. So you remember, I think 6 months ago, I used to make videos where I used to say that if you give a very bad prompt, you will get a very bad result. Okay. And then I gave a checklist for writing a good prompt. Now we all know that if you can write a checklist for something, it can be prescribed. Basically, I can give you a prescription of tasks. I can give it to you. I can give it to my friend. Whoever has that prescription, the output is going to be the same. Because that person is not using his or her intelligence. That person is just following a prescription. If you can prescribe something, you can automate it. That is the law. For example, human creativity. Is there a prescription for it? Not really. Coming up with great solutions, is there a prescription for it? No. Is there a prescription to opening emails? Very much. You exactly know what are the flowcharts for that. So if I say that there is a checklist for writing a great prompt, it means that prompting can be prescribed. There is a checklist. So then prompting can also be automated. AI itself can write great prompts. So you can write a very terrible prompt and AI will ask you questions to improve the prompt. And that is what they are doing now. The next step is clicking on configure. This has multiple inputs. Number one is on instructions, where you go into the details of what this GPT should do. What all should it avoid? How should the output look like? And then there's this column called knowledge, where you can upload your PDFs, your code files, basically any information about you, which is very, very specific to you. So let's just say there are a bunch of books that you have to read in the semester, and you want a GPT bot to ask you daily questions. Now those books, those PDFs are very specific to you. They're not openly available on Google. You can take all of those PDFs, upload it here in the knowledge section, and then tell this GPT that you read all of these books and give me the summary and ask me questions on a daily basis. So now this becomes an AI intern who knows exactly what you want. So I have created a very in-depth video on how you can make ChatGPT bots. I'm not going to go into the details of it. And this is the website, this is the QR code where you can watch the tutorial. This tutorial is in Hindi and most of you said that you're comfortable in Hindi, so this will be useful to you. So I go into the proper depths of how you can create GPT bots. I don't think you need me today to explain you how they work. A lot of you would have not realized that GPT-4 on the mobile app now has voice in it. Have you tried the voice feature? Is there anyone who has not tried the voice feature? Oh, so many of you, right? If I have my phone with me, I am only using the voice feature on ChatGPT mobile. It is an absolute game changer. And the crazy part is that whatever conversations you have on the audio, it is still converted into a text conversation. So you can always go back. And once you have the Pro plan on, you can access all of your GPTs from the mobile app itself. So you don't need a laptop to access all of these things. Everything is available on your phone on the go. So don't be restricted by just your laptop. Please build a habit of using GPTs on your phone itself. In fact, how many of you have never used custom instructions? Oh, a lot. Okay, some of you. Okay. So I'll tell you what are custom instructions. This is the most underrated feature of ChatGPT. I'll give you a very interesting use case. Anytime I use ChatGPT, I prefer responses that are short in bullet points, and I want every response to end with a CTA, which is a call to action. I need you to tell me what exactly I need to do. But then I don't want to waste my time prompting this again and again. That, hey, ChatGPT, do XYZ, give me a call to action, which is simple, give me bullet points. I don't have the time for that. What you can do, you can go to custom instructions. This is a screenshot from the iOS app, but on the web, if you click on the bottom left corner of your screen and go to your settings, you'll find custom instructions. The first thing is, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? So here you can say, I am a student, I am studying this, I am comfortable in Hindi, this is what I want to learn. Basically give context about what you do, where do you live. Specify the fact that I live in India. Otherwise, it will assume that you're in the US. So please make sure you tell about yourself. And then the second input is, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? Either you can say stuff like, keep your responses simple, avoid complicated words, give me bullet points. This thing is a game changer when you become a pro user of ChatGPT. But the question is, Ansh, how does it affect us? What will happen is that today, one person will prompt a GPT, everybody else will benefit from it. Earlier, the benefits of ChatGPT were restricted to a person who knew prompt engineering, who knew how to set up a prompt, who knew all of the technical details. So for a person who's super busy, that person was like, oh dude, can I not use ChatGPT if I'm not a great prompter? That is so bad. This thing erases that limitation. Any person can train one GPT and friends, family, and everybody in that guy's company can use it for free. The dependency on prompting will go low. So that entire concept of buying expensive prompt engineering courses, doing this and that, all of it is now outdated. It is literally about using AI smartly. Now, there's a very interesting concept that I came across. It's called arbitrage. And this will just blow your mind. The word arbitrage comes from the stock market. The basics are that this entire world is actually split into mini markets. Okay, let's say there is market A and then we have market B. In market A, the skill of writing pays you $100 an hour. Okay, you're a great writer, you're living in market number A and you're selling your writing services, you're making $100 an hour. In market B, nobody knows how to type, nobody knows English. With the same skill, you can go to market B and charge 200 rupees an hour. It is the same skill, you are the same person, but simply because you shifted to a new market and there's a big crisis in that new market because there's a big demand in that new market, you can charge higher. But then there's a caveat to that. There's an expiry period to this. You can't expect that I will go to market B and make money forever. Because eventually, even the market B will learn how to write. Even the market B will have more competition coming in. So then, arbitrage is this concept where you take something, sell it in a different market where you know that the demand is really high. But you're also aware that this is only for a very short period of time. When people come and ask me, Ansh, if I learn ChatGPT, is that a great career? Should I learn Midjourney? Will I make money forever? No. There is a window of 3 to 4 months. You can make as much money as you want in those 3 to 4 months. Because after 3 to 4 months, the arbitrage will be nullified. And then everybody will know what you know today. The second thing is leverage. The concept of leverage allows you to make more money and get more things done in the same amount of time. And I won't go into the details of leverage, but I would recommend you this YouTube channel called Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi. ALEXHORMOZI. Alex Hormozi. That guy will really just open up your mind on the concept of using leverage. I have used leverage to make more money than any of my competitors in the market. And it is a very important concept to understand. But yeah, this video is not on like business lessons. I'm not going into the depths of it. But yeah, just an important thing for you to go back home and check out. Now, the problem is most of you think that ChatGPT will do everything for you. That is a big misconception. You think that ChatGPT is too smart. In reality, it is not. You need to remind yourself that it is super important to have the intelligence to recognize where I need to use AI and where I need to use a human being's intelligence. If you take a concept that is 100% about creativity, problem solving, being more towards the creative side of things, if you use ChatGPT for that, you're screwed. But if you're wasting time on things that have a prescription, that are automated, if you're opening emails, going through documents, crunching numbers, going to Google, researching yourself, these are the things that ChatGPT can do for you. So what you need to do is that you use AI for all of these execution-based tasks. But you use RI for ideation. What do you think is RI? Real intelligence, right? And the real art is that you don't need speed, right? You don't really need to get into this mode where, oh, ChatGPT will help me save 100 of hours a week. I'll be super fast at my job. No. You need velocity. Velocity is speed with direction. I know many people who are just running in their lives. Hustling, working hard, working 12 hours a day. They think that speed is what they need. But in reality, they always needed velocity, which is speed in a specific direction. If you're running in some stupid direction, you just work hard and realize that, oh, this is not where I wanted to be. And the real art is that you need to use AI tools in a way where it's almost invisible. And I'll show you how I use AI in my content creation. People create these posts on LinkedIn saying, oh, I got 100 reel ideas using ChatGPT. They will give the most terrible reel ideas ever. I asked ChatGPT to write a LinkedIn post for me. It'll never do well. I'll tell you how you use AI smartly. So I had a brand collab with BenQ India, and I wanted to show a scene where I am having a conversation with an American freelance client. And then she's like, can you check if you've received the payment? And then I wanted to show a notification pop up. Okay. Now I can't use PayPal. I can't use PayPal's logo because this is a proper like brand collab. And I don't even have an American friend who can act for me. So I used 11 Labs to create that fake voiceover. This reel is on my Instagram right now. I went to 11 Labs, I created a voiceover of that lady saying, hey, can you check the payment? Thanks for working with us. And then for the logo, I was like, I can't use the PayPal logo. What should I do? I went to ChatGPT. I said, give me a logo image of a fake PayPal. And it created this image. Now, this image is absolutely stunning because this is not PayPal, but it looks so much like a payment app. And this is the place where you need to understand that these are the small areas where you can use AI to upskill yourself and to make your content stand out. Now, a very important shift that we have seen in the latest ChatGPT is that you can create images, you can go through links, you can create PDFs, everything in a single conversation. Earlier, if you remember, DALL-E was separate, custom instructions were separate, text was separate, plugins were separate. Now, everything is in a single mode, which is a huge time saver. Another use case that I've found as a content creator is that anytime I have a good idea, instead of just putting a text post on LinkedIn, I would use DALL-E just from my phone. I would open up my phone, open up ChatGPT and say, give me an image of this and that. I would save the image and then put it with my LinkedIn text post. I'll show you a quick example. This was a text post that I had on LinkedIn, okay? And this is an image that I got from DALL-E. It's a fake image generated by AI. Now I am 100% sure that without this image, my reach would have been 50% less. I got 16,000 impressions simply because I quickly had a thought. This thought was from my real intelligence. But to get more attention from the algorithm, I used AI to get a nice, good-looking image. And I used that for my advantage. In fact, I think a few folks from Hotstar were trying to hire designers. I wanted to share that opportunity, but then I had no image. I went to DALL-E. I said, give me a very fancy designer working on a laptop, and it should say Disney hiring on the back. And this was created in DALL-E because DALL-E can now create text as well. And I got like 500 likes in just 10 or 11 days, which is great for my YouTube community because I barely get 50 likes. So that is the relative comparison that I'm trying to show you. That a normal text post would get 50 likes. But just by adding an image generated by AI, it went 10x. Which is supremely cool. In fact, now if you go to any of our YouTube videos, you'd realize that I am not using stock footage. I am actually creating images from Midjourney and then animating them in Adobe After Effects. So I just uploaded a podcast with this guy called Real. He's the author of this book called Hooked. And then I wanted to show like a couple of scenes that were very unique. This is what we did. So I wanted to show Plato. Okay, I wanted to show like a very massive Plato ka sculpture and I couldn't find a decent image on Google. I went to Midjourney and I created this, and when you watch the video, you'd realize what I usually do is I would take this image in Photoshop. And in Photoshop, you have this feature called Magic Wand. You can select a subject. I took the subject out. Then in Photoshop, I used generative AI to delete Plato. So it removed Plato and it gave me a simple background. So now I have isolated Plato and the background. I have two layers. I went into my After Effects and animated them in 3D. So Plato is moving in this direction, the background is moving in opposite direction. And then we added text and it looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous and we have full creative freedom. Because if I want to show a close-up shot of an artist, if I want to show like a really fit athlete, I have full creative freedom. All of these scenes are animated using Midjourney and After Effects together, which is a huge creative freedom. This was never possible before. So a lot of people say, Ansh, should I apply for a new job in AI? Will I get a new job in this upcoming ChatGPT field? No, this is not a new field. Prompting is not a field. Using ChatGPT is not a career. It will simply help you do your current job faster. There's a big difference. It's like Googling. Can Google be a job? Like just knowing how to Google, knowing how to open Microsoft Word. These are not jobs, right? These are tools. So this thing can actually help you do your current tasks in a much better way. In fact, we have created a playlist on all of these AI tools. I thought I'll just quickly share it. If any of you haven't seen, we have a dedicated playlist on Midjourney, on ChatGPT, on Canva AI, and this QR code will take you to that one single playlist. Everything is available for free. All you need to do is spend enough time making notes. In fact, tomorrow we have our session on using AI for UX designers as well. And if you are a UX designer, if you're trying to learn UX, We have a free platform called learnuiux.in where I have launched a 9-week long course where you can learn about product designs from scratch for free. Everything about case studies, portfolios, average salaries, everything is shared in full detail without any censoring. So let's come to module number 2, that how do you plan your career now that you know everything about it? The problem is you think AI will be your next career. And instead of figuring out how do you use AI as a smart person, you guys are figuring out if I can get the word AI in my degree, if I can get a certificate of AI on my resume. Folks, none of that things. No, none of those certificates will help you. Let's be real. The certificates are absolutely useless. I am in the market. I know how the trends are changing. It is all about what you can do, and it is all about who knows you. The entire game of making more money is about how good you are at what you do and who knows that you exist. Because if you're really, really good at what you do, and if the wrong kind of people know that you exist, they will exploit you. So they will get a lot of work done from you, but you will never get paid. So the second step in life is to know the right kind of people. So you need to figure out how can you serve a business? How can you solve a problem for a business that is profitable? Because if you're solving problems for a business that is not profitable, even then you're trapped. Then you will not even get paid on time. So please be sure that AI alone is a field for developers and researchers. You just need to be a smart user of AI. And most of you don't even understand the flow of work. I've shared this flow chart a billion times just to summarize it again, that this is how human beings will interact with AI. Number one, it is the human who thinks about the problem. Next step, human will prompt the AI and give context. Once the AI gets context, AI will give you a result. By default, the result will not be good enough. So the human is responsible to build on top of that result. And at the very end, it is the human who delivers. It begins with a human, it ends with a human. It is the human context that makes the AI useful. A lot of people used to release these reels 6-8 months back where they used to say, here is a new AI tool that will help you create social media posts. Here is an AI tool that will replace Excel, blah, blah, blah. All of these new AI tools, right? That entire game has changed. Instead of figuring out which is the new AI tool, you'd realize that all of the legacy tools will now have AI in them. And nobody will now say AI tool. It's just going to be a tool. Do you hear us saying internet-enabled apps? No. If it is an app, it is assumed that it will have internet. Similarly, after 1 year, everybody will assume that if this is a tool, this will have AI in it. There's no AI tool. It is just a tool. So instead of chasing new tools and new courses and new tutorials, just focus on your first principles. By the way, Microsoft Bing has actually launched DALL-E 3 for free. So if you don't want to pay for ChatGPT, if you go to bing.com, they help you use ChatGPT 4 for free. You can create images also for free. There's a new feature called Copilot. So this will give you access on the phone as well. Now, how does this affect us? More will be expected from you because now the benchmarks will go high. So just knowing a tool, knowing the basics is not going to cut out for it. And beginners will learn and compete faster because even kids can learn this. No, there is no software mode or there is no experience that you need to learn these things. So even if you're a senior professional, you need to up your game. And see, this is nothing but evolution's way of saying, dude, just get serious. After every 15 years, no, evolution does something that forces you to evolve. COVID was one of those steps where it forced us to focus on our immunity and health. Now it is saying you need to focus on your skills. And of course, not to get very philosophical, but if you were to ask your parents or your grandparents, you'd realize that their physical bodies were way stronger than our physical bodies. The hormonal levels have been completely imbalanced. Physical bodies have degraded over time if you compare your grandparents and you. That was the first level of degradation. With social media apps coming in, if you don't take care of your mind and your thoughts and your mental health, the next generation will have mental degradation. So first level would be physical degradation because now our bodies have been degraded. So we will pass on these genes. There's no way that my child will be like my grandfather in terms of like physical genetics. We have to be very careful that our brains remain sharp. Otherwise, we will pass on mentally weak genes as well. And it's a very serious subject and very few people recognize that. You know about Mark Cuban? He's a very popular shark from Shark Tank. And he had this very interesting tweet. He said, introduction of ChatGPT is so similar to HTML and the internet in the early days. Everyone knew it would be impactful, but we made it seem far more complicated than it was. Any kid that learned HTML and built websites for businesses was considered a tech genius. And this is true. HTML and CSS was the thing around 10 years ago. It's the same with using ChatGPT or LLMs. LLMs are large language models. It is the underlying technology of ChatGPT. It will go from being perceived as difficult to being recognized as being fundamental and used by everyone. It's easy to try and experiment with, and if you haven't, you should. So I know that today you'd be like, oh dude, what exactly is Ansh saying? This is so complicated. After 6-8 months, this will be the norm and it will happen. So what to do next? It's very simple. Please study the first principles of whatever subject that you're pursuing, marketing, finance, sales, anything. Please strengthen your first principles. And if you can't find a course or a YouTube video for it, please look for documentations. In my life, if I've learned anything valuable, it is not from courses or YouTube videos. I've only learned them from documentations. Because for us, we feel that, oh, if I want to learn a new skill, let me go to YouTube. Let me go to a video course. That is our laziness. Folks, the most smartest people in the world are very shy and very introverted, and they're not on YouTube making videos. They write. The smartest people in the world are writing. So you need to figure out, where do I read content written by them? And that is the greatest advice that you will ever get when it comes to upskilling yourself. And of course, most of you have wrong understanding of prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is not about frameworks and fancy words. It is literally about adding context and setting constraints. You can speak in Hindi, Marathi, whatever language you want. I have given the most terrible grammar ever in prompting, and it would still work. The major, most important skill of prompting is to give context about what you want and add constraints. I won't go into the depths of it because I've regularly taught these things on my YouTube channel, so I won't repeat what I've said, but just a quick reminder. And by the way, all platforms will soon detect AI work. If you use AI for your LinkedIn posts, for your tweets, for your Instagram images, there is going to be a very simple detector coming on the platforms super soon. In fact, I heard someone say that even Gmail will have it. So if someone sends you an email using AI, Gmail will tell you that this has been written by AI. So all of those things where people said, oh, now my life is sorted, I will just use AI for everything. Do you really think that's possible? It is not. So just be like super real about how this thing is going to be. In fact, a lot of companies have now changed their taglines. You know, earlier used to have companies saying text to output, prompt to video, prompt to image. They used to use this word prompt this, prompt that. Now everybody is saying idea to image, idea to video, idea to 3D model. Because now it is all about getting a good idea. Everything else can be automated. So yeah, just like you, even AI won't get away, copying others. There are a lot of websites, a lot of publishing article websites, news articles that are now gating their content from the future versions of ChatGPT. Because they're like, dude, we are spending so much time working, we are spending so much time creating art, and this AI is coming and learning from me, learning from my art, and then replacing me. So I don't know how things will evolve, but a lot of artists and a lot of writers are now gating their work. Not sure if you know about Nightshade, but Nightshade is this thing where if you take your art and process it through Nightshade, AI will get confused when it reads through your image. The entire model will get screwed. It is a way to protect your work as an artist. So of course, let's see where things will evolve. So is AI a smart replacement? Not really. But AI is a smart intern who's just drunk. And you need to have this distinction in your brain when you're using AI. I saw a very interesting campaign on Fiverr. It said, AI took my job to the next level. Which is very interesting, very well designed campaign. Because your attention would quickly go to AI took my job because it's the negative thing and your brain is designed to find the negative. But yeah, very interesting campaign. In fact, I saw this meme saying criminals will start wearing extra prosthetic fingers to make surveillance footage look like it's AI generated. And thus inadmissible as evidence. You can go into the bank, do a robbery with extra fingers on your hands and say, oh, this is AI. This is not even me. But yeah, this is just a meme. But it's interesting how humans will always find a way to outsmart tech, to outsmart AI. So yes, last module, some roadmaps that you can follow to get clarity on your career, because we had very limited time here. But I want to leave with all of these QR codes. So yeah, brace yourself. A lot of QR codes coming in. So yeah. Number one, I recently made a video that was titled How to Make 2024 the Best Year of Your Life. And I had designed free worksheets that you can literally download. There's Excel sheets also that you can duplicate that will help you understand what you need to focus on this year. Because when I started these AI videos, when I started these UX design videos, I thought that if I teach somebody a skill, that person will become successful. But then I looked back to my own career graph and I realized that it is not my skill that helped me grow faster in life. It is actually not my knowledge of UX or AI that has helped me come where I am. It was a lot of clarity. It was velocity, not speed. So this video will help you figure out, how do I get velocity? How do I get direction? And not just hustling and not just speed. The second video is titled How to Get Ahead of 99% People, which is a career roadmap. So once you've seen the 2024 video, this video will help you figure out the career you need to pursue. So this has a lot of questions about how much money do you need to make on a monthly basis? What city do you live in? What kind of JDs are you applying to? And it will help you figure out a proper plan that you can use to pursue that career, because most people don't even know what career they need to pursue. Forget about AI and all of these things. So these fundamentals need to be sorted. There are 3 books that you have to read. I was telling everybody, from the team as well. 3 books. I have been reading these 3 books again and again for the past 2 to 3 years. Number 1 is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Second is The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. And third is Rework by David and Jason. I can assure you that if you read these 3 books, you will be a different person altogether. You will text me on Instagram saying, Ansh, I read these 3 books and now I feel like I have come as a new person. I've reborn on the planet. And I am not like overestimating how crazy they are. Then there are 3 areas that you have to improve in your own personality. Number 1, verbal speech and fluency. If you feel that you can't speak confidently, please start working on it. If you feel that your accent, your pronunciation, anything about your verbal speech, if you feel anything is lacking, please specifically work on it. Communication is key. Number 2, writing and texting skills. You need to know how to write clearly, whether it's on social media, whether it's on research papers, documentations, emails, whatever it is, and not just formal writing, but know how to text someone on WhatsApp, know how to text on Slack. Because with remote work coming in, if you work as a remote freelancer, if you're working for a client based out of the US, your writing skills and your speaking skills can actually impact how much money you make. If you're a good speaker, you might just make 1 or 2 lakh rupees extra a month simply because you're a good communicator. And at the very end, your physical fitness, skincare, and clothing. I won't go into the depths of it as to why this matters, but I'm telling you folks, we've created videos on this as well. I personally feel that if you focus on your physical health, your energy levels go 10x. And it is not just about how much time you have, it's also about how much energy you have. You can have all the time in the world, but if you have low energy, that time is wasted. On the other hand, if you have very little time and high energy, you still get your work done. So yes, we have created this one video on how to speak English like a pro. I think most of you would already know English, but if you still feel that you have confidence issues, that your writing and speaking skills are weak, this video got like 1.4 million views and people got a lot of help from it as well. What I need you to do now is that once you finish the career roadmap, you need to split your entire subject into the tool and the underlying first principles of it. So in design, Figma is the tool, but UX design is the subject. In video editing, After Effects and Premiere Pro is the tool, but editing itself is the subject. So you need to ask yourself, how do I learn both the tool and the subject? And use AI to find the best resources. I literally go to ChatGPT to figure out, what I need to learn. So can AI replace teachers and degrees? No, please, let's just be like real. You need a degree to get a good job. Like, I really don't believe in that narrative as to, you should drop out. You don't need a degree. You need a degree to get the job. But is it that only a degree will help you get a great job? No. It's almost like, do you need basics of internet to get a job? Yeah. You need that kagas, you need that paper. to get the entry into the door. AI can help you get clarity and direction. So in tomorrow's session, I don't know how many of you are attending. In tomorrow's session, I'll give you these very, very cool use cases where you can actually use ChatGPT to get feedback on your designs. Like I literally took this carousel that I had for one of my AI meetups. I put it inside ChatGPT, said, act as a marketing designer, give me feedback on the social media design. It gave me line by line feedback. Epic stuff. So yeah, आज के लिए इतना ज्ञान काफी है. I think आपका दिमाग भी गर्म हो गया होगा. Thank you so much for investing your time and money into this. And yes.
Hi, Ann. Siddhika this side. So as an entrepreneur, we have so many things to carry out, like from scripting. For example, let's take YouTube as your business. You have to do scripting, then you have to do shooting, editing, ideation, and all. So it becomes really tough when you are carrying out everything. It becomes really tough to trust someone. So how do you carry out?
Correct. So I would recommend you to read this book called A Myth Revisited. That book
Okay.
fundamentally changed the way I saw this problem. मैं भी same problem में था कि I was a perfectionist and सारी मैं खुद ही करता था अपने YouTube channel के बारे में. Then I started hiring people. फिर मुझे realize हुआ कि ये तो इतने passionate नहीं है जितना मैं हूँ.
Exactly.
तो फिर वो same गलतियाँ कर रहे हैं. अब मैं इनको कैसे समझाऊँ? अब अगर मैं इनको समझाऊंगा तो काम कौन करेगा? Right? तो ये issues आते हैं. I'll quickly summarize what I did. Number one, you need to hire expensive people.
Okay. Yeah.
तो if you're trying to hire an intern who's charging 10,000 rupees a month, मतलब उसको काम नहीं आता है. वो आया ही बिगनर है. तो then everyone who I hire on my team, I make sure that I pay them minimum 30 to 40k per month.
Yeah.
Even till 50k per month. I have a consultant, he's charging me 1 lakh a month. ठीक है. तो high ticket.
Yeah.
जो high ticket इंसान होता है ना, वो सीख के आता है.
True.
But अब question ये है कि आप पे कैसे आएंगे पैसे to pay that person. So then for that period, you need to hustle your way out कि आप individually महीने का 2 लाख रुपए 1.5 लाख रुपए कमा रहे हो. But when you are making that money, make sure कि आपके खर्चे नीचे ही है. क्योंकि होता क्या है कि when you start making money, आपको मन करता है कि अब मैं खर्चे भी बढ़ा लूं. तो खर्चे नहीं बढ़ाने हैं. खर्चे वही रखने हैं. इनकम बढ़ानी है. जैसे आपको लगे कि महीने का मेरा 1-2 लाख रुपए बच रहा है, you start hiring high ticket people. हाई टिकट मतलब जो मिनिमम 30-40k पर मंथ ले रहा है. जो इंसान 30-40k पर मंथ ले रहा होता है ना, वो खुद ही बहुत सीरियस होता है. क्योंकि उसको डर लग रहा होता है कि अगर ये क्लाइंट रूट गया तो मेरे 40,000 रुपए कट हो जाएंगे. तो ये आपने हायरिंग का फिक्स किया. ठीक है. फर्स्ट यू मेक योर ओन मनी, देन यू हायर द राइट काइंड ऑफ पीपल. तीसरा, इन माय पूरा यूट्यूब का सिस्टम, यू नो अबाउट नोशन.
Yeah.
तो आई हैव क्रिएटेड चेकलिस्ट फॉर एवरी सिंगल थिंग ऑन माय नोशन. मतलब आप मानो कि नहीं, मैंने हर एक YouTube की वीडियो की कैटेगरी के लिए एक पेज बनाया है. उस पेज के अंदर एक सब पेज है कि वीडियो जब जाएगा तो ये 10 चीजें करनी है, जब वीडियो को एक दिन हो जाएगा तो ये 10 चीजें करनी है. सब कुछ लिस्ट बाय लिस्ट. मतलब उसमें ये तक लिखा हुआ है कि अगर आप किसी को रिप्लाई कर रहे हो तो रिप्लाई में ये वर्ड्स यूज करने हैं, ये नहीं यूज करने हैं. पिन कमेंट में ये लिंक आना चाहिए, फिर ये लिंक आना चाहिए, फिर ये लिंक आना चाहिए. तो वो कह रहा है मैंने सबका एक प्रिस्क्रिप्शन बना दिया है. तो अगर मैं किसी बिगिनर को भी हायर करता हूँ तो मैं उसको बोलता हूँ तुम्हें सिर्फ एक चेकलिस्ट फॉलो करनी है, अपना दिमाग लगाना ही नहीं है. ठीक है. तो ये हो गया प्रिस्क्रिप्शन बेस्ड टास्क. और आप बोलते हो एडिटिंग का कोई प्रिस्क्रिप्शन नहीं है. तो अब मैं क्या करता हूँ, आई टेल दैट पर्सन कि आई विल पे यू टू लर्न. मैं लिटरली उसको बोलता हूँ कि तू मुझे बता तुझे क्या सीखना है. आई बाय कोर्सेज फॉर हिम. बोलता तू बैठ पे 1 महीना सिर्फ सीख. एक लेवल ये हो गया. दूसरा, मैं जितने भी अपने एडिटर्स के साथ फीडबैक कॉल्स रखता हूँ, आई रिकॉर्ड देम ऑन लूम. मैंने आज तक ऐसा कोई फीडबैक कॉल नहीं किया है जो गूगल मीट पे या जूम पे हो रहा हो. लूम इज अ टूल जो आपकी स्क्रीन रिकॉर्डिंग कर लेता है आवाज के साथ. तो जब मैं उसको फीडबैक दे रहा होता हूँ, उसकी सारी गलतियां निकाल रहा होता हूँ, वो सब कुछ रिकॉर्डेड होता है. ये लूम का मैं लिंक लेता हूँ और मैं पिछले 1.5 साल से मैंने एक पूरी लाइब्रेरी बनाई हुई है फीडबैक वीडियोस की, जो मेरे पुराने एडिटर्स गलतियां करते हैं. जब भी मुझे कोई नया एडिटर ज्वाइन करता है, पहले मैं उसको बोलता हूँ पहले तो ये सिलेबस तू पढ़ के आ.
Makes sense.
फिर वो 1 हफ्ता बैठ के वो सारी फीडबैक वीडियोस देखता है जो मैंने पिछले एडिटर को सिखाया था. तो इसमें मेरा टाइम बच रहा है.
True.
मुझे उसको काफी सारी गलतियां बतानी ही नहीं पड़ रही. तो ये सारे लूम मेरे नोशन में है. और अब क्या हो रहा है कि मैं किसी को अगर फीडबैक दे रहा हूँ ना, तो मैं उसके साथ आधा 1 घंटा बैठ के उसको प्रॉपर लॉजिक बता दूं कि मैं तुम्हें ऐसा क्यों बता रहा हूँ. लोग क्या करते हैं, लोग फीडबैक देते हैं कि ये सीन हटा दे, ये सीन हटा दे.
पर क्यों?
ये सीन क्यों हटा रहे हो, इसका लॉजिक क्या है, वो समझाना बहुत जरूरी है. एंड देन आई टीच माई टीम हाउ टू मैनेज देयर टाइम.
Exactly.
दैट इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बिकॉज हो सकता है आप बहुत प्रोडक्टिव इंसान हो, आप दिन में खाना खा रहे हो, जॉब कर रहे हो, आपकी एनर्जी हाई है, बट आपकी टीम के लोग डिप्रेस्ड है, या आपकी टीम के लोग ही नहीं खाना खा रहे, टीम के लोग ही नहीं टाइम से सो रहे, तो सारा सिस्टम, प्रोसेस, कोर्स सब फेल हो जाएगा ना. अगर टीम मेंबर ही ढीला पड़ रहा है.
True.
Then I keep checking with them. Are you eating on time? Are you sleeping on time?
Okay.
So I think these things will really help you get quality work.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So my name is Vansh, and I
Hi,
have two
Vansh.
questions. Long ones, please bear with me.
Yeah.
They
No,
are
but you'd have
actually,
to summarize. If it's like super long, like I prompt you
yeah.
to summarize the question.
I'm 18 years old, CSE student, tier 2, tier 3 college mein, and I want to know how to use AI tools currently to leverage to first of all create content. Secondly, to develop an agency business, because I think that the AI tools currently available, not many people are aware of it. Thirdly, is for my personal use. Like I want to know what tools do you use and how do you use them effectively?
See, number one, अभी आप college में first year में हो?
Right.
It is too early for you to decide what you should do in your career. आप 4 years का BTech है?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, in your third year, the way you look at life, the way your priorities are, everything will change. Most people enter content only for two reasons. Number one, fame. Number two, money. अभी content में दोनों नहीं है.
Okay.
You start making videos today, it will take you at least 1 year to come to a point where you become really, really famous. And when I say famous, I mean minimum 500,000 plus. And पैसा तो बहुत ही tough हो गया है अब. पैसा उसके लिए easy है जिसको already editing, कैमरा के सामने बोलना और अपने subject का thorough knowledge हो. मतलब अगर किसी को 5-6 साल हो गए हो एक फील्ड में और उसको कैमरा के सामने बोलना आता हो, उसके पास एडिटिंग टीम भी हो, उसको स्क्रिप्टिंग भी आती हो, कम्युनिकेशन भी आती हो, सब कुछ आता हो, तो भी 8 महीने बाद वो 1-1.5-2 लाख रुपए महीने का कमाएगा. दिस इज फ्रॉम इंस्टाग्राम. यूट्यूब पे 1-1.5 साल भी लग जाता है. ठीक है. सो नंबर वन, इट इज गोना बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू मेक कॉन्टेंट, स्पेशली व्हेन यू आर जस्ट अ बिगिनर. The thing that you can do is become a curator and not a creator but a curator. Curator means कि आप कुछ पढ़ रहे हो, you just take your lessons, put it on LinkedIn. कि these are the top 10 things I learned from this, top 10 things I learned from Ankur Wareko. Sahil Bloom is a great example of this. ठीक है. Now when you say कि मेरे को ऐसे tools बताओ जिससे I can make content and I can create an agency, वो arbitrage का concept आपको याद है? ये जो आपका concept है ना, ये arbitrage वाला concept है कि मेरे को AI tools आ जाएंगे, मैं एक agency खोल लूंगा और फिर आगे जाके I can serve that for client. जब तक आप ये सीखोगे, existing agencies आपसे बहुत आगे निकल चुकी होगी, क्योंकि existing agencies को सिर्फ AI नहीं आता है, बाकी सब कुछ आता है. आपको वो भी नहीं आता है जो उन्हें आता है, और AI भी नहीं आता है. तो जब तक आप दौड़ोगे, तब तक existing agency आगे बढ़ जाएगी. And the thing is, agency is a service based business. ठीक है. service based business में पैसा कमाना बहुत tough है. For a beginner, it takes at least 1 or 2 years to get enough logos, to get enough testimonials, to get enough word of mouth so that you can pitch to a high ticket client. Because I have my friends who are in this media and production का services. मैं आपको recommend करूँगा, अगर आपको सही में एक long term game खेलना है, number one आप decide करो the field of work you want to specialize in. Development, design, marketing, sales या finance. Finance आपका होगा नहीं, आप engineering में हो, तो इन बाकी 4 में देख लो. ठीक है. डेवलपमेंट, डिजाइन, मार्केटिंग या सेल्स, इन चारों में से एक उठा लो.
I want to basically go into development, like technical development in the field of AI. That's what I want to do.
ओके, मेक सेंस. तो अब जैसे आपने डिसाइड किया कि टेक्निकल डेवलपमेंट इन द फील्ड ऑफ एआई,
Yeah.
दिस इज स्टिल वेरी ब्रॉड. तो you need to sit down, maybe with ChatGPT or with some senior, and drill down the exact thing. क्योंकि technical development में आप LLMs में जा सकते हो, आप app development में जा सकते हो, आप web development में जा सकते हो, आप training में जा सकते हो, उसमें AI में भी आप computer vision में जा सकते हो, या ये text to based models में जा सकते हो. तो figure out with a senior or with ChatGPT. Literally open ChatGPT, say मेरे को ये issues है, you find that niche और पहले 2-3 साल उसमें expert बन जाओ. In parallel, please make sure that you're reading the right books. जो मैंने आपको books बताई. Focus on your communication. Go to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, go to the gym as soon as you can. And start eating on time. I'm telling you, 3 साल बाद आपके goals ही change हो जाएंगे. फिर आप बोलोगे कितना छोटा सोचा था मैं agency करने का. अब मैं कितना ज़्यादा कमा पा रहा हूँ बिना agency के. So it's too early for you to decide. You don't know what you don't know. Yeah.
Another question.
Okay.
Discovery of AI tools. Like currently, what I've found is if I search on YouTube that I want a tool for, let's say, creating a video,
Yeah.
I don't get that good
Don't look for
results.
AI tools right now.
Yeah.
Just focus on ChatGPT. If you want to get into the details of it, maybe go till Midjourney for images. But abhi wait karo. The entire market is very unstable. वेरी अनस्टेबल, अभी थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा। अभी क्या हो रहा है, हम बहुत एक्साइटेड हो गए हैं, अभी 1 साल हुआ है एआई को पॉपुलर हुए हुए, 1 साल हुआ है सिर्फ। तो थोड़ा सा अगस्त सितंबर तक वेट करो, तब तक अपने फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल्स रखो। आपको एडिटर अगर बनना है ना, यू स्टार्ट वॉचिंग यूट्यूब वीडियोस, यू स्टार्ट मेकिंग नोट्स कि व्हाई इज दिस वीडियो डूइंग वेल, एंड लर्न प्रीमियर प्रो, लर्न आफ्टर इफेक्ट्स। ये टूल्स कभी नहीं जाएंगे आउट ऑफ मार्केट, ये आपको सीखना ही पड़ेगा, प्रीमियर प्रो, आफ्टर इफेक्ट्स।
But just in general, like where
futuretools.io,
futurepedia करके भी एक है.
नहीं फ्यूचरपीडिया अब इतना है नहीं बढ़िया, futuretools.io is a better one because that's by Matt Wolf.
Hi Ansh, I am Chaitanya. So basically, I am running my own startup. In short, in simple words, it's Amazon for softwares. You might be aware of AppSmo, what they are doing, Noah and the people. And another point that I am facing is I am dealing with people earning in millions or billions.
आपकी एज क्या है?
23.
उनकी एज क्या है जो बिलियंस में कमा रहे हैं?
Around 35-36.
तो है तो 10-15 साल भी है।
हाँ, नहीं, प्रॉब्लम क्या आता है कि मैं जो डील्स रन करता हूँ तो हमारा कुछ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है. तो बेसिकली सपोज लास्ट मंथ वी डिड अ 10 days of campaign for Zintla. It's Bangalore based company for LinkedIn intelligence. So basically we did 10 days campaign. The sale we did was around $50,000 for the 10 days campaign. बट प्रॉब्लम तब आएगा वो अर्न कर रहे मिलियंस में और वो हमारे टर्म्स ऑनर ना करे, क्योंकि एप्समो एक बड़ी कंपनी है.
करेक्ट,
दे आर
तो
अर्निंग
आपको लग रहा है वो शायद आपको टाइम से पैसे ना दे।
हाँ,
देखो,
टाइम मुझे पैसे देंगे, उसका प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. जो डील में सेल कर रहा हूँ अपनी ऑडियंस को या क्लाइंट्स एजेंसीज को, वो ऑनर कैसे करें, मतलब कैसे वो ट्रस्ट फैक्टर हो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स
इसका
के लिए.
कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं है, पता है, ये आपको काम करके ही पता चलेगा कि वो ट्रस्टवर्दी है कि नहीं। और दूसरा जो आपको लग रहा है ना कि मैं अभी 50,000 कर रहा हूँ, मे बी कोई और आदमी मिलियंस में कर रहा है, तो वो फास्ट ट्रैक हो ही नहीं सकता। और आप ये सोचते रहो कि वो कर रहा है मैं इतना पीछे, वो कर रहा है मैं इतना पीछे हूँ, आपके माइंड में क्या हो रहा है, आप एक रेस दौड़ रहे हो उसके साथ, आप पीछे चल रहे हो, वो थोड़ा आगे चल रहा है। रियलिटी है वो एक अलग ही स्टेडियम में, आप एक अलग स्टेडियम में हो, और आपकी और उसकी शुरुआत भी बहुत अलग जगह से हुई थी। अगर आप देखो ट्विन जुड़वा भाई होते सेम घर से, फिर आप बोलते वो करोड़ों कमा रहा है, मैं कुछ नहीं कमा रहा हूँ, तो भी वैसे नहीं होता है, बट मैं तब भी समझ सकता था कि आपको थोड़ा सा सिमिलैरिटीज है, तब भी बहुत फर्क होता है, जुड़वा भाइयों में भी बहुत फर्क होता है। बट आप जिससे अपने आप को कंपेयर कर रहे हो ना, उसकी शुरुआत ही कहीं और से हुई है और आपकी शुरुआत कहीं और से हुई है, तो अपने आप को पिछले साल से कंपेयर कर लो, वो ठीक है। और दूसरा, आई वुड रेकमेंड कि जो आपकी ये मेंटर्स है, जो भी आपको लगता है कि मेरे से बहुत आगे हैं, हैव कॉन्वर्सेशन विद देम, क्योंकि ये मुझे भी नहीं पता होगा कि आपकी फील्ड में क्या करना चाहिए। जो आपकी फील्ड में जीत रहा है सिर्फ वही आपको बता पाएगा कि कैसे यू कैन गो फ्रॉम से 1 to 100.
ओके.
But yeah, just I hope you're creating like documentations in your Notion for your team, and there's this app called Todoist.
या पता
You should use Todoist. It's a great productivity tool. मेरा तो बहुत टाइम बचता है उससे.
ओके, थैंक यू.
Awesome. If you enjoyed this video, then do check out this video of the same series. I am sure that it will help you even more.